¿Te gustaría pelear con Shakur y ellos también?
Sí, también, si se llega a un buen acuerdo, ¿por qué no?
Be back in March, probably even April.
And which opponent are you looking at?
Yeah, he looked as sharp his last fight. He did what he had to do.
Shakur Stevenson wants to face Tank Isaac Cruz, wants a fight with Tank. I should be back in March, probably even April. And which opponent are you looking at? But since Tank Davis seems more focused on Lomachenko, both fighters have come to agreement as Cruz finally accepts Tank's challenge. Yeah, he looked as sharp as last fight. He did what he had to do course. Stevenson hasn't had it easy recently, especially after many fighters in his weight class have voiced their reluctance in fighting him. It may be Cambos is 'cause a pit bull turned me down. And when you ask why many fighters easily point to his fighting style as the reason they'll never lock horns against him in the squared circle Zappa, turn me down, I know from the rankings Costas his next. So I think it will be Cambos. His last opponent, Edwin Dos Santos, had his most frustrating night. When he faced Shakur Stevenson, it got so bad that at times Dos Santos threw his hands up in frustration. And joining him in that emotion was the crowd as boos cascaded upon them, no matter how hard he tried. Dos Santos found it impossible to land a clean shot on the former Olympic silver medalist. Once the final bell rang, Dos Santos didn't have a single bruise on his face. Although he didn't take much damage, he also wasn't able to inflict any following 36 minutes of lackluster action. Stevenson walked away with a close unanimous decision victory and the vacant WBC lightweight title. While Dos Santos may have left the arena beltless, he believed that, at least figuratively speaking, he earned the respect of everyone around the world. Dos Santos said, "You know what I came to fight. He came for attract me. And I wouldn't say that I'm on his level. I say I'm above his level. We all know what happened. He came for a track meet. He didn't come to fight. I showed that I am on a higher level, because he never stood and fought like he does with other fighters. I did my job. He came to survive. That's what he did. They gave him the title. But I'm the people's champion fight tonight. I came to put on a fight, and Shakur Stevenson decided not to fight, although Shakur Stevenson apologized. The world of boxing is yet to forgive him for that in-ring atrocity. Hey, listen here. I don't have nothing to say about that," Stevenson said. "I don't make any excuses. It happens. We go through a lot as a fighter. I'm good. I really don't care about it. I had a bad performance tonight. That's all I'm really focused on." Stevenson previously indicated to Asuna that there was something off with him from a physical standpoint. While he was in the ring, "I had a bad performance tonight," Stevenson said. I wasn't feeling too good. So that's all I'm really focused on. I wasn't feeling too good, so I'll live with it. It's okay. I came here, got the victory, and that's all I wanted to do." When asked to elaborate on what was wrong with him, Stevenson added, "I just didn't feel good. I didn't feel good before the fight, honestly. I already told myself if I'm feeling like this in the ring, and if it's not going well, Emma, make sure I box and get the victory." Shakur, you seem like a one-handed fighter tonight. You only landed 21 left hands, however, in his desperate search for a top fighter, preferably a world champion in his weight class, who would also put his belt on the line for a unification. Shakur Stevenson has now picked Isaac Cruz as his next opponent. The deal was sealed after Shakur Stevenson had accused Isaac Cruz of ducking him. "I know you wouldn't talk about it, and Pop-Up wouldn't tell me anything about your left hand. Was your left hand hurt?" And now both fighters are set to give fans one of the most eye-catching performances ever. Now Isaac Cruz has not only accepted Shakur Stevenson's challenge, he has also sent him a knockout threat. "He's a bum, this and a third. I tried to fight Isaac Cruz first. He was the first person I tried to fight," he said in a video he posted recently. Shakur Stevenson, "Bring it on. You can't run too far for me. I'll beat you brutally and knock you out with this." We can confirm that the stage is set for the matchup between Shakur Stevenson and Isaac Cruz. It'll be an aggressive puncher, popularly known as the Mexican Mike Tyson. A guy who brings his weapons to you against Sugar the fighter who chases greatness with his feet. Rather than his fists, what's more intriguing for fans is the fact that Shakur Stevenson loves to run around the ring against his opponents. This will be quite difficult, as his style ultimately contradicts that of the Mexican who would always push forward to his opponents, as we saw in the fight against Von Tank Davis F. See how far we can go. Big left hook combo is heard again reestablishes himself. I don't know what big left hook. Many believe his unique style of fighting was what helped him till the very end. Cruz was only the second man to take Davis to the scorecards in Davis's professional career. The decision victory ended a streak of 16 consecutive stoppage wins for Davis. For his part, Cruz did call for a rematch, claiming to have deserved the win, wrestling a lot of grappling. As we head to round 9 in the uppercut by Cruz, he said, "If you can do it, I can do it." Cruz had good moments in this round. And there he rips a uppercut, or right to the body, then a nice uppercut. While a rematch seemed unlikely, Davis made it clear that Cruz's gutsy effort had made an impression. He's a definite warrior, Davis said. Even though he didn't get the win, a star was born tonight. Davis edged Cruz in total shots, landed 133 to 1. The 121 landed punches by Cruz were the most ever by a Davis opponent utilizing the range. And all when he stepped in, Davis chose to throw that uppercut, barely missed. Davis' average was a lot, but a little bit immediately after the fight. And the following months afterward, Davis maintained that he had no interest in fighting Cruz again. But later on, the Baltimore-bred knockout artist is changing his stance. "I'll fight him again. I will stop him next time. And how can people say I lost this fight? Oh my God, I did a lot of nonsense in this fight." Though for sure, Davis said in a pair of deleted posts on Twitter. Scores for his lands for Davis. Davis wants to move forward in this round, going to do it out the pretty well following the contest versus Cruz. Davis admitted that he was dealing with a left-hand injury that limited him during the bout. In the second half of the fight, Davis lost considerable steam from his offense as Cruz mounted his competitive comeback again down there, and that's where he got applause. There's that lead right uppercut that land the Mexican fighter. Cruz has called for a sequel several times while blasting through Eduardo Ramirez and Yuriorkis Gamboa in 2022. What makes this matchup even more interesting is the fact that both fighters would rather fight Dan Davis. However, with Von Davis favoring Lomachenko, instead they have chosen to face off in the squared circle. Shakur Stevenson recently called out Von Davis as well Ryan Garcia fight. I'm saying though, like, how many times he got to say he going to fight an elite fighter and never fight him ahead of his fight against Artem Haritunian. Shakur Stevenson pledged to dominate Harun, who recently suffered a unanimous decision loss to Martin. However, Stevenson's primary focus remained on a future encounter with Davis, a fight that could pit the two best lightweights against each other. Stevenson, 26, points out Davis's age of 30. While scrutinizing Davis's fighting history, how many times is he going to say he is going to fight an elite fighter and not fight them? Stevenson said to say cheese. He is 30 years old now, bro. Is 30 talking about he is going to fight me, he said. Next, okay. We'll do it. Stevenson is a 3-division title holder who is growing frustrated with his lack of big fights. How you going to fight me? Oh, when you going to fight me, he say. Next, okay, well then do it. __. I'm right here. All you got to do is send an offer. In the modern era, there has been a crop of young and emerging fighters at and around his weight class, including Davis, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, and Ryan Garcia. Yet Stevenson hasn't faced any of his peers, despite holding titles in 3 divisions and being a unified world champion in the junior lightweight division. Are you really going to fight me? Or just going to keep saying what you are going to do to somebody, said Stevenson of Davis. Shut up and fight me. Stevenson believes making a fight with him is simple. He just needs a contract. All you got to do is send an offer, said Stevenson. Hit preview the aside. I know. I'm not saying that I'm the aside you they ___. With all the notoriety, all the however it go on right here, though you are the aside I know, I am not saying I am the aside you're the person with all the notoriety however it goes. But I am right here, though I am not going nowhere. As soon as you say, let's fight, I am right here. Let's fight Stevenson, even vow displeasure, with Martin who pulled out of a scheduled fight against him for the vacant World Boxing Council lightweight title, which would have occurred in November of last year. I'm not going nowhere. As soon as you say, let's fight, I'm right here. Let's fight Stevenson. Ended up winning the World Boxing Council lightweight title over Edwin de los Santos. In a lackluster fight Martin hasn't fought since last July. What did Frank Martin do to be elite? Question Stevenson. But he'll tell you 100 times. Oh, I want to fight this person. Frank Martin is a dude who signed up to fight me, got famous for signing up to fight me, and then didn't fight me. This was long after he had countlessly called Isaac Cruz, who had earlier expressed his unwillingness to fight Shakur Stevenson because of his style of fighting. As a result, Shakur Stevenson couldn't help but lash out at some of his divisional rivals. It's just forgotten because of one performance, she's so 100 times on in.